Oh my God, it's already 2013.
Oh my God, Andrew, you haven't even changed.
And I spent the new year with John Borthwick. John, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Andrew. Nice to see you.
John, it's right at the beginning of the year, but you're a smart guy. You've made billions of dollars on the internet. What's going to happen in 2013?
Yeah, I think that as we talked about last time we met, I mean, I think that the sort of the pieces, the foundational pieces of the puzzle are in place now on the hardware side. That we're going to see, you know, a lot of value be created on the software side of the business. I think that, you know, hardware is there's still a lot of diversity, particularly in these small devices that hang off the smart devices. But I think that you know, the tablet, the smartphone are pretty much baked. Right, the UI, the interface, the app structure, all of that's pretty much in place. So now it's like people are going to create amazing things on this platform.
So we can reinvent media? I know you have a very interesting product.
So we can reinvent media. I mean, one of the things we did a lot of work in 2012, and I'm going to continue to do work in 2013, is really reinventing and trying to find new platforms for creativity and expression. Right, so I think you're referring to, I showed you a while back, the Tapestry product, which we pushed out at the end of the year in November. You know, Tapestry is a very simple way of doing authoring to the device and via a web page. So you go to Tapestry and you can write a little essay, a blog post, a children's story, a note to your loved one, and then you take that URL and they see that, experience that within the device, almost like an app within an app. It's a new form of authoring, though. You have to see it to really get used to it, because you're like, oh my God, I can actually write into this device. And I can create stories in this device.
Do you think 2013 might be the year where software developers begin to reprioritize the creative professional? What you're doing with Tapestry, what Ev Williams and Biz Stone are doing with Medium. Suddenly, creative professionals will have the tools to really author stuff. Excellent. Yeah. Outrageously excellent stuff on the web.
In 2012, we started to see an entire new layer of the web emerge, which was very much informed by, I think, the expectations people were having for user experience on the tablet and from the phone. And so we've kind of gone back in 2012 and re-architected parts of the web, and we started talking about things like the clean web. And I think that, you know, products like Medium exemplify that. It's very much what we tried to do with Dig. It's what the Subtle guys are doing. It's what Marco is doing with the magazine. You know, these are products that are sometimes phone first, sometimes web first, or desktop first experiences. But all of them, there's a commonality of a sort of very clean, simplified interface that I think is very much informed by what we've sort of learned from the tablet and what Apple has brought to the user experience.
Could 2013 be the year of the web of things, or is that just a bit of hype?
No, we're seeing the web of things, or the Internet of Things, emerge, right? So as all these devices, as all these sort of, you know, small endpoints, sort of single-purpose endpoints become connected to the network or become connected to a hub device that then connects to a network, the data associated with those things is proliferating. And so I think that you're starting to see that emerge. I think the thing which you're still seeing a lot of tension around is ownership of that data. Because there's a lot of, we're seeing in 2012, we saw the emergence of, you know, the real platform wars, which Tim O'Reilly and other people talked about in, you know, 2011. So in 2012, we saw, you know, Google and Apple fight over maps. We saw Twitter fight with its ecosystem. We saw Facebook and Zynga fighting. You know, weird little tussle with Amazon over Kindle and usage of data associated with Kindle users. So, I mean, we've seen these platform conflicts over data, and I think that they're going to get a lot more complicated. You know, my Nike Fuel Band right now, so this data lives in a silo that Nike accesses to its website. If I want to use that in a third-party tool, I don't have a lot of affordance to do that. But you're beginning to see it break down.
Do you think 2013 might be the year the government recognizes finally that they have to step in some of these data wars and particularly act to protect?
Hell, I hope not.
No?
I mean, I think we're in this stage where it's really hard to tell where the places that government should and how to set public policy. I think it is too early. I mean, you remember, you're talking to somebody, I was an expert witness in the Microsoft antitrust trial against Microsoft. And it was something that, you know, about 5 years later I looked back on. And I wrote a long blog post a while back saying that I thought it was a complete mistake. I don't believe the marketplace is a solution for everything, but I think it's too early to actually define the layer of the stack that government should exist at as it relates to data.
And 2013, could it be the year that there's finally an antitrust case either in Europe or the US against Google?
Again, I hope not, because I think that Google is now fighting on so many flanks that I don't think that would be, I don't think it'd be good use of anybody's time. I thought you were going to say against Facebook.
No, that's 2015. John, what about as an investor? I know you don't like to think of yourself as a VC, but you do put money into innovative ideas. What most worries you about 2013?
Well, clearly, in 2012, we went through sort of an evolution and a shift, right? So people at the end of the year started talking about things, the Series B crunch or Series A crunch. I'm actually of the school that there's clearly a lot of companies out there at Series A and Series B that need to get funded, and not all of them are going to get funded, right? But I think that over the last couple of years, the market has actually evolved and changed. And so I think that we now have a very effective mechanism to do seed stage investing that's actually outside of the normal flow of the traditional VC stack, whether it's Techstars, YC, incubators, different vehicles. We've developed this engine, this marketplace for seed stage stuff. And the outgrowth of that is that we're going to have a aggressive culling between the things that are created and the stuff that makes it to the next layer. And I think the reason why, I guess if I'm articulating this clearly, the reason why I think it's separate from the VC stack is that I think the VC is now going to sit on top of that versus try to participate in the bottom of that. And so I think that moving forward, we're just going to see an incredible crop of innovation happening at the seed stage and then a natural culling. So just put in numbers, like 5 years ago, the norm was that 1 in 10 seed stage company was going to get funded. I think now we're looking at maybe 1 in 20 or 1 in 30.
Good or bad news for the entrepreneurs, the startup guys watching this?
I think it's more
bad news. Because,
no, it's not. It's more Darwinian. I think it is. What it means is that things will die sooner, bad ideas will die sooner, and great people.
Which is good, because people won't waste their time with worthless ideas.
Yeah, I think that this evolution in the marketplace is
becoming a more efficient Darwinian system.
It's becoming more efficient at the seed stage, because I think the old seed stage model was that you had sort of product market fit, and there was a VC who was willing to give you 3 to 5 million to continue to test that. Now you really need to have product market fit, have discernible traction with audience in order to get that 3 to 5 million. And that's a good thing, because if you took the 3 to 5 million and spent 18 months continuing to dig a hole into a dead end, that's not a good use of capital, it's not a good use of your time.
Finally, John, it's obviously, even for someone as smart as you, it's hard to predict the future. Where do you think we might be most surprised in 2013? What are the question marks that it's hard to tell that might shock us when we're back here in 2014?
So, one of the areas that I've been consistently wrong about is I always tend to over-index on just how quickly the platforms, the big platforms change and die, right? So I thought that AOL's dial-up business would die fairly fast, and it didn't. It had this huge tail to it, which AOL, the organization, has done a great job of taking advantage of and basically using it to build a new company. In the same way that I thought the Yahoo was dead, and I think that we haven't heard, I think that Marissa's doing some really interesting things with Yahoo.
She reinvented email, right?
And I think that she relaunched email at the end of the year, and also Flickr, right? I don't know if you noticed that, but there's major changes there. So I think that the persistence of some of the old platforms, right? I mean, Microsoft is still kind of in the game, which is remarkable, because they really shouldn't be. I don't think that they've got it's the legacy business model that keeps them in the game. So I would say I'd be surprised by, I've been wrong about that consistently, the persistence of the old platforms. So I think that's going to happen. Other big things, international. I think that we're seeing finally, I say finally because this is displaced Brit. I think about the rest of the world a bit too. And
there is a rest of the world?
There is, beyond this, yeah. And I think that what we're going to see in 2013 is, I think, some more of the influence of that, because I think that much of the innovation that we've seen has been recycling of US-based innovation in the rest of the world, and we're going to see the rest of the world doing its own innovation, and more and more that will influence what happens here. Right? We've seen a lot of activity out of Northern Europe in the last 5 years, quite a bit out of Europe. I think we'll see a lot out of Asia and maybe even the Southern Hemisphere.
Well, John Borthwick, who's a great innovator, I wish you the best in 2013, and I look forward to talking about where you were right and wrong this time next year.
We'll write a tapestry about it.
We'll do a tapestry, you and I. Thank you.
Thank you.